All right, this video is going to show you very quickly how to use the Pasco instruments in the actual recording of a lab. So the first thing you want to make sure that you've done is you've connected the USB link and the sensor together. The USB link is also plugged into your Chromebook. You also have your correct probe attached to the sensor. In the case of today's example, I have the temperature probe attached. Once all that is connected, please make sure it's connected first. You will then go to your apps and you will open the SparkVue app. Please give the SparkVue app time to locate the sensors. This may take a few minutes, but it'll eventually load a screen that looks like this. And once your sensors are shown, you're ready to build your experiment. So you will click on the Build tab, and it will load some page options for you. You just want to go ahead and select the very top one. It's the full blank screen. And then it wants to know what type of build you would like to make. You want the icon in the upper left corner, which is to build a graph. The very first thing you need to do is you need to make sure the y-axis is set to the correct measurement tool. Currently, it says to select measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and select on the y-axis. My measurement tool needs to be, in this case, temperature. And the units I can change to Fahrenheit to make it a little easier for us to understand. You would choose OK. Your graph is now ready to go. You will follow the instructions that are in the directions for the lab. And when you're ready to begin, this is the play button that you will use, which is the start of the recording. So you will take the temperature sensor and you will place it in the material to record the temperature. It's perfectly fine to place it just in the material unless the material is sitting on top of a hot plate or burner. Please make sure that it's not touching the bottom because it's really just touching the heat source. Please make sure it's more in the suspended, so you'll have to hold it during that time frame. So we place the temperature probe into the material, and we will choose the play button. Follow the procedure on the lab for the time that is required, and you can see it automatically begins recording data for you. Whenever you've reached the required time, you can press the play button again, which stops it, and it shows your data has been recorded. Once your data has been recorded, there are a couple options that you can do. You can actually label this line. Down here is some options. You click this, it'll open up, and the T means text. So I click on the line and I choose T for text, and it wants me to enter a note there, and I can label this line appropriately, and it will now be labeled for me. And I'm done with those. And let's say I move on to my second data. I follow the procedures and see what's next. And staying on the same screen, I would start my measurement for the second set of data. And you see that it creates a separate line as it records that data. And when I'm to the point I need to stop, I can choose the stop button. I can again click on that line and choose the text, and I can enter a name for it. And this will label that line. Now the lines look really close together. In order to see these a little better, you can choose the options, and this box right here with the 4 arrows pointing in opposite directions will resize and sample, and you can see they were actually quite different in temperatures, but it will resize it for you according to the data you have recorded. Another option that you need to know for answering questions later on in the lab is how to find the minimum and maximum temperature of a certain set of data. So the easiest way to do this is up here. You can toggle between your recorded data by choosing to have only one or some of them or none show. So in this case, I'm just going to have option 1 show. And with option 1 showing, I'm just going to kind of click on the line, and nothing really appears. I'm just clicking on it. And I'll choose my options again, and I want to pick this line right here. It looks like a bunch of dotted lines with a circle at the origin. And when I click on that, it will bring up some numbers for me. Basically, it's showing me the minimum and the maximum for the X and Y axis. The one I want to look at is at the bottom. The dy is showing me the overall change in temperature for the Y axis. So you can see in this case, the temperature changed by 0.12 degree. Not very much, but that's how I find out how much the temperature actually changed. All right, so I can turn that off, and then I hide my tools again. And this time I want to check out, let's check out line 2. And so I'm going to switch to line 2. I'll click on it there, and I'll get my options. And again, clicking on this option, it will show me that for the y-axis, the overall change, the dy, was 2.93. So the temperature when I was recording actually went up by 2.93 degrees. So I'm done there, and I can hide that. I can bring back both my lines, and if I needed to record more data, I could continue to do so on the same graph. All right, when I'm done with the lab and I'm ready to save the lab, this button up here is the Save button, and I will click on it, and it allows me to save the file. And I'm going to go ahead and save the file, and I will put in the name that I want to save it as, and this would be the your Matter lab. So save it accordingly, and you would choose OK. Your saved materials will show up on your home screen whenever it loads. So here's a States of Matter lab that I had completed earlier, and I can choose to open it. And this is how you get back to it if you ever had to save your material during class and then come back to it at another time. So that is how you use the Passco instruments. If you have any other questions, please be sure and ask, and make sure you are following the lab procedures.